This is the video where I discuss why I no longer call myself a feminist. It's easy for me to just say that I'm not a feminist, but the truth is that I no longer know what it means to be a feminist, and so I'm kind of retiring from calling myself that. So, like I said in my previous videos, one of the positions that feminism holds, which is its pro sex stance, has always alienated me. That is one major reason why I feel like I don't know what it means to be a feminist, is because I don't know how to call myself a feminist and then also feel these ways in which mainstream feminists all agree that women should behave. Like I've said in my previous videos, my sexuality and my sexual life is simply not the most meaningful part of me. It's simply not where I derive my identity from. It's not something that I spend all my time thinking about. It's not something that I feel like defines who I am as a woman, and the ways in which I'm proud of myself have nothing to do with my sexuality. That's first and foremost. And secondly, when the Me Too movement happened, the way I would assume most women reacted was with horror. Every woman that I've ever met has had something bad happen to them sexually. And the Me Too movement was like a barrage of such testimonies for the entire world to see. And I certainly cannot be the only one who came out of it transformed, completely changed from what I thought was just the monstrosity that lives within the hearts of every man. And I don't think feminism helped me figure my way around that fear. I think what feminism did and what the Me Too movement bolstered was my fear of men, my fear of all the ways in which I could be violated. And a pragmatic part of me believes that a healthy degree of fear is a good thing. But I think for me, it became a pathological fear. It almost bordered on paranoia that I could no longer conceive of a good man. I could no longer conceive of ever trusting a man with myself. I could no longer conceive of a man who was incapable of committing such deep violence against me. I could only ever feel safe among women, that because men have such a deep capacity of violence that I could simply never trust what they are capable of, and that even the men that I knew who had never hurt me, who had no reason to hurt me, who have never given any indication of ever hurting me, I was suspicious of them as well. And so you can imagine what how completely disintegrated my relationships became with the men in my life, and how completely disintegrated I became internally. And neither feminism nor the Me Too movement really helped me in that way. All it did was confirm my fears. I always gave off this sense of feeling defensive or feeling hostile or feeling violated in some ways. And these are incredibly intense feelings that I did not know how to navigate. I had no, the Me Too movement came out of nowhere. It seemingly erupted spontaneously and it took on a life of its own. And there were no manuals for how to work through this complete, you know, change and shift and breakdown of a worldview. And so I think I just came to a point in my life where I started to notice the way I was treating everyone, and I could not justify it anymore. I could not justify my fears anymore. There was simply no threat to my life, and the way that I was behaving was so incongruous with reality that I had to come back to myself and ask myself, what am I really doing here? Why am I believing things that are no longer serving me? What am I getting from this belief system? What am I getting from having the most awful parts of myself confirmed, the fears that I carry with me confirmed? And I think that was when my journey of kind of trying to extricate myself from these ideas came from. And um, I think that, and this is why I say that I no longer know what to call myself, is because I don't know how much of how I feel today has to do with my specific history, the specific impact that the Me Too movement had on me, and how feminism did nothing to alleviate my pain, and how much of it has to do with feminism itself. I don't know what is right anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know how to understand what I believe anymore. And I'm okay with that ambiguity. But at the same time, I do want to create a space where people can talk about their own conflicting thoughts about it, because I certainly cannot be the only one who has been feeling this way all these years. I would really like it if anyone who has anything to say, whether you like what I said, you don't like what I said, you agree or you disagree, I would really like to have a conversation and continue this dialogue in the comment section. I want to understand what other people are feeling, and I truly want to hear your thoughts, like things that you are probably too afraid to say. I would really encourage you to open up in the comment section, and hopefully we can all get somewhere with where we all stand.